Hey, cats, what's good? Today we are going to touch on the coming push for censorship worldwide. All right, you know the deal. You want to hit? Here you go.
Pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services, our society as a whole. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
Are you threatening me?
The committee will also seek to discredit law enforcement like the FBI, who are so important in the fight against domestic violent extremism. Republicans in Congress just don't care. The greatest terrorist threat to our country comes from violent right-wing militia groups and their sympathizers, and Republicans in Congress just don't care.
The clear and present danger of disinformation is our conversation here this afternoon. It follows a session just now about disrupting distrust, and of course those are connected, so I hope that's where we can start. I'm Brian Stelter, formerly of CNN, now a fellow at Harvard University. Let me briefly introduce our panelists, and since we're being live streamed, a reminder that the hashtag is WEF23. We can try to put some real information out into the world to make up for all the crazy.
For hate speech, well, we need the people who understand the language and the case law in the country. Because what qualifies as hate speech, as illegal hate speech, which you will have soon also in the US, I think that we have a strong reason why we have this in the criminal law.
If we think about some of the trends in disinformation, one of the most worrisome is gendered disinformation, the fact that those types of stories hit women so much worse, women politicians, and it's just proven across the board that women online get harassed, and online harassment becomes offline harassment very, very quickly. And so gendered disinformation is one of those trends that is, to me, one of the most terrifying out there. And I want to sort of circle back to the comment about should the platforms be held accountable for part of this. They should be, and you're exactly right. It's the accountability is about keeping people safe, and gender disinformation can be very unsafe for a lot of people.
Hey, savages, welcome in. Good morning. Thanks for coming as always. Like I said, we are touching on the horrific topic of the coming censorship push, right? As the world recovers from the previous World Economic Forum, where they pushed such popular topics as COVID control, lockdowns, and vax mandates, the most recent one, just recently, come to an end, I'm sure many of you know again, and their topic of discussion that they really tried to stay on this time, of course, was mis and disinformation, okay? As you've seen from that long-ass intro, some takes there, you heard Klaus, of course, it's all about cyber attack, and then everybody else, it's about safety and taking responsibility for hate speech, right? There's no fucking such thing as hate speech. It doesn't matter if you hate what I say. That doesn't make it wrong, or it doesn't make it akin to violence. You know what I'm saying? You pearl-clutching little chick, you, all right? But, of course, again, as you see in the intro, the hilarity kicks in when you see that they have one Potato Head Stetler hosting the forum on dis and misinformation. Hilarity goes on to introduce himself, formerly of CNN, the biggest pusher of disinformation in Americas, right? And now a fellow at the Harvard University. You know what I'm saying? The Harvard University, the same place that's pushing medical students to learn care for transvestite infants. Okay? Let that fucking shit sink in. Tranny infants. Alright? Not an adult that decided to make a conscious idea about, their conscious choice about their own body. We're talking about an infant that doesn't even understand what a fucking word is. You know what I'm saying? Ridiculous shit, okay? But, and you've seen several people speak there. They are just absolutely trying to push censorship into overdrive to kick in the Great Reset, okay? And, before you get that's the conspiracy theory. Klaus Schwab literally wrote the book, The Great Reset, okay? And if you don't know how to read, that's fucking on you, but that doesn't make us wrong or a disinformation or a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy. It's just not a theory, okay? But, the only thing that, the only barrier that stands between us and their rollout of their Green New Deal, New World bullshit, all right, is freedom of speech and the up to the second release of information and news, okay? And, of course, they have to do away with that for your safety. You know what I mean? So it's not just the World Economic Forum. It's everybody that's involved in it. Okay, which brings us to the European Union, the United Nations, the World Health Organization. The American Democrats who are trying their hardest to get a conservative political pundits and news channels taking off of your airwaves, right? I mean, you shouldn't have cable anymore at this point anyway. Just save yourself some money and get you a few little paid subs, right? But anyway, again, you've seen they just removed Newsmax, right, from satellite TVs across America. They say it's to save you money. How? When they pay, CNN a hell of a lot more than they were paying Newsmax. And it's nothing but disinformation. You know what I mean? And then, of course, the big tech companies here, Meta, Google being one of the absolute worst. The CDC could literally release information, and you could share that same information on the old YouTube here, and they will suspend or remove your channel. You know what I'm saying? No equivocations. They don't give two shits. It's what they consider to be reliable information or nothing. You know what I mean? It's Facebook, Meta as a whole, even Twitter. I know people love to thank God for Elon's, right? I know I've been permanently suspended since Elon took over, and everybody, that's funny. I mean, it's literally not, because I did nothing but reply to sitting politicians on their lies on YouTube without using any profanities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just straight up words. The worst thing I said to Liz Warren is, you're a lying sack of Rolling Rock. That's the worst thing that I put out there. But my account's permanently suspended. You know what I mean? My Facebook, my YouTube has been suspended, just recently over sharing article headers. I didn't even speak in the video. I wasn't even in the video. It was literally just article headings flashing across the screen to music. And they suspended my channel. You know what I mean? So, it's already kicked in. The push to censor you is definitely in overdrive. If you truly think that it's for your safety, as usual, I have a hell of a plot of property to sell you in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? This is some draconian shit. It's to prevent you from, organizing and sharing real information in real time. It has nothing to do with safety. And as you've seen, again, in the intro there, the WHO, okay, World Health Organization, you recently had, the Donkey Clinton come out and push for censorship power for the World Health Organization, right? As if you should give two shits what any corrupt-ass lizard Clinton has to tell you, okay? But then shortly after that, boom, the WHO themselves come out asking for the power to censor, right? In the name of safeties, of course. What the hell else would it be? And again, you have the Dems out here trying to censor. We have the Biden admin using anti-terror tech that was created after 9/11 to stop terrorist attacks against our own people who dissent and disagree with COVID policies and whatnot, right? And through the Twitter files and the leak from Meta, we know that the government straight involved sidestepping your rights by having large tech censor you in their stead. The FBI, at least 9 FBI employees working at Twitter, right? Either they were current or ex, what have you. I mean, either way, once you're an FBI, you're a fucking FBI, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, same thing as a cop. You're a cop, you're always a cop. You're always going to be a snitch, bitch. You're always going to be quick to try to shut other people down that you don't agree with. You're always going to be quick to violence, man. It's always the people that push the hardest to shut you down that are spouting the most bullshit. All right? Because they don't want someone that has the nuts to be able to stand up and call them out on their shit. You know what I mean? And, they're legitimately trying to turn people that dissent into terrorists and insurrectionists. I mean, it's absolute hilarity if it wasn't my own country. Okay? This is supposed to be the last bastion for freedom, and you are not even slowly, rapidly watching it be taken away and dismantled in front of you. You know what I mean? The Overton window has moved so far to the left that the so-called conservatives now would be liberals 10 years ago. You know what I mean? And it's been planned. It's a planned destruction. It is a controlled demolition of America and its principles and its currency system that has made the world turn for decades. All right? But you guys know the deal. Debate me in the comments. Argue with me. Tell me to fuck off. Smell you later.